Everybody, welcome back. Good to see you again. I have the second part of all my horror books that I have in my library. These are going to be like kind of trade paperback size or, larger published ones, hardcover, things like that. So I'm just going to go through and show you all of those. And if you haven't seen the last one, which was all of my paperbacks, which are behind me here, make sure you go click on the video link. Maybe I'll put it like here or something. I don't know. By the way, I edit everything on my phone, so it's not the easiest to do. So I'll try to put it up here. You can click it. If not, it'll be in the description or in the end credit, whatever. So let's get to it. I picked up this book in between when I recorded the paperback part and this part, and so I just want to show you guys that I got Child's Play 2 in paperback. It's a little bit beat up. There's a little crease here and some like edge damage right there, like where it got dented or dropped or something. So a little bit of wear to it, but still hard book to find. Don't come across these often. There is a Child's Play 3 that I want to get a hold of at some point. But pretty cool little find. I do want to get all the Friday the 13th, all the Halloweens, all the Nightmare on Elm Street ones, things like that. There's a lot of them out there. So no rush though. I'm just waiting for when I find them or get some crazy deal on them or something. So that has not made it back in or been into the shelves yet. These are all in alphabetical order, and I have a ton of other books that I've been sorting my kind of shelves and library stuff over here, and I've been finding little ones here and there that need to be included in that. So I think I decided, if you've watched the video, I have like these first several rows are all horror, and the top ones are all Stephen King. I think I've decided to take all my Stephen King and put them all the way on the top shelf, top shelf, and stack them a little higher so that I can they only take up one space, and then I'll make the rest of these horror. So it's gonna take a little doing again though. So all right, let's get enough babbling. I found recently actually this one. It's Video Night from Adam Caesar. Adam Caesar wrote Clown in the Cornfield books, and for the most part, the Clown in the Cornfield ones are pretty good. The first one is the best one by far, and then they kind of get a little off track. And so I'm hoping that this one is good because it's before Clown in the Cornfield. So hoping that that's a good one. It looks kind of cool. I have all three of these. These are Gnoshqua, and they're by Heath Stallcup. And there's 1, 2, and 3. So these are like Bigfoot type survival stories. I have The Deep by Michael Brent Collins. These ones I found pretty recently, so if you've watched a recent video, you're going to see a lot of those ones on there. Lost City of Terror, Jethro Wagoner. And these are all, they have like that matte feel. I call them independent published, but they're all like published by like Severed Press. I don't know what the correct term is for it. Like, it's not like Dell or Ace or something like that, or Berkeley. They're like lesser known publishing companies, but they kind of have an independent feel to them. So I just say independent. So I'm probably wrong, and everybody cringes when I say it, but that's okay. Anyways, Desolation Canyon, Russell James. The Descent. This one's from Weird House Publishing or Weird House Press. This is this Descent and Other Strange Stories by Joshua Rex. Alistair Hodge, Cryptid Killers 2, Hybrid Hell. And I don't have the first one, I believe, so I need to try to find Cryptid Killers by itself so that I can read that one first before I get to this one. And this, she reminds me of an actress, and I can't place who it is. Like, what is it? Vera Farm something? Is that who that looks like? I can't remember her full name. total drawing a blank. Wasn't she in like the Insidious ones, I think? I don't know. You can tell me. Alien Horrors by Tim Curran. This one I've had, like, I keep putting it in my, like, I'm going to read it this week pile, and then I grab something else. So I need to pick this one up and read it soon, because I keep, swapping it for other things. Operation Amazon, William Michael. Operation Syria, William Michael. And Operation North Sea, William Michael. And I'm pretty sure these ones, there's like, I don't know, 15 or 16 of these. I don't know how. Oh, like this one I wrote book 10 on the inside on a piece of paper. So this one's book 10. This one, the Operation Syria is book 6. And Operation Amazon is book 4. So I'm pretty sure there's like 15 or 20 maybe of those. So I was going to buy the first 3 since I have number 4. And maybe if I like 1 through 4, and then I'll pick up the rest of them. I don't know if they have to be read in order. So we'll see. All right, The Fossil by Greg Beck. Greg Beck has a lot of stuff out there too that I have not read. Brian G. Barry, Snow Shark. Yeah, these ones I got in a big bundle recently. Plague of the Dead, the Morning Star strain by Z.A. Recht. I don't think this one was signed. No. Ash Wednesday by Chet Williamson. This one's hardcover. And these are not the way I organize them on the shelf. They're just, I just grab stacks. So this one is signed by Chet Williamson. Titan Boa by Shigeru Brody. Looks pretty cool though. Maybe one of these months I'll just go on a Severed Press kick, and that's all I'll read for the month. Just see. We already missed September. Could have done Severed Press September. I'm not good at organizing that stuff. That's why I don't really do it. Let's see. What would be a good one? What do we got? November and December. December's got to have a lot of Christmas stuff. So maybe November. I don't know. If I can think of a cool, catchy name for November, I'll do it in November. Anyways, so Hellhound by Ken Greenhall. This is a Paperback from Hell reprint. And I do not have the original of this. But I have heard it's an enjoyable book. So I'm going to read that one. There's an intro by Grady Hendrix on it. This one's also an older one, like a Paperback from Hell era. Robert Marasco, Burnt Offerings. This is a newer printed version though. Let's see, this one has an introduction by Stephen Graham Jones in it. Originally published 1973. So this one's, that's a 2015. So Ladies' Night by Jack Ketchum. And I have quite a few Ketchums to read. So I'm not sure when I'll get to this one. I don't know. Maybe sometime soon. Who knows? I change my mind like every day. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to read that one tomorrow. And then I go, I feel like reading this one. And I grab a totally different book. Lemuria. And this is by John Triptych. And I have quite a few triptychs. So I'd like to try that one. If anybody's read any of these and you're like, yeah, read that one next. It's great. Let me know. I seriously have been trying to read this one since last year, and I just keep like forgetting about it, putting it aside, grabbing something else. It ended up back on my shelf at one point, and I forgot to grab it out. But Rust Colored Rain by Otto Schaefer, and he has the sequel out now, so I definitely need to read this one. Actually, I'm gonna do this. I am almost done with A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. Like close to being done with that one. And I read the 2 buddy reads that we have for the year or for the month on Discord. So I'm done with those. So I don't have any that I like have to finish reading right now. So I'm gonna start this one today. Setting this one aside 100%. Starting it today. No ifs, ands, or zombie butts about it. Okay. Atoll X by Russell James. I like these underwater ones. So Gate 4 Volume 1 episodes and this is by Terry M. West. I had never heard of this. I saw it online, and then I read some reviews, and it sounded really cool. So, and everybody seemed to love it. And I think there's at least 4 of them. So here's a signature. That one's signed. I need to start that one soon. Also, Death Packs and Left Hand Paths by John Wayne Comunale. This is a Grindhouse Press book. And then Dark Country by Dennis Etchison. This is hardcover. And this is a Scream press. This one's fairly rare. I think this is, I believe the paperback and the hardcover, both of them are fairly hard to find. I think it's like 60, $80 or something if you tried to get it on eBay. It is printed in Santa Cruz, though. I didn't know that. That's sort of near me. Actually, Santa Cruz is where I got my first tattoo. So it's Santa Cruz is like for 4 or 5 hours, I think, away from me right now. So, and then this one's illustrated by J.K. Potter, and it has a bunch of short stories. This one is not signed, but it's in excellent shape. So that's another cool one. The Butcher's Tale by Nicholas Walls. This one looked pretty cool too. This one was not signed, right? No, not signed one. But look pretty cool. It's a kind of a almost paperback size, but it's just a little bit bigger and has that same kind of matte cover to it. Horror of the Blood Devils, Bloody Bones Horror #1 by Tim Curran. This one is Weird House Press also. And this one is not signed. I don't think this one's signed. No, not signed. Of course, I have Kathy Koja's Cypher, so I do have the paperback of Cypher, but I also have this one because this one was like a special event that I didn't go to. I bought it like this, but it has a Cypher sticker, which is I don't know where I would put that, but I wouldn't want to damage it. It has like an ad from the bookstore signing thing, and then it's signed by Koja, so which is pretty cool. The Crow Witch and Other Conjurings by Catherine Cavendish. This one is... Yep, this one is signed. Yeah. Cat Cavendish signed there. Gene O'Neill, Rusting Chickens. And this one is a Dark Regions Press. This one signed. Yep, and this one signed also. Skade Germut, Ghost Witch, Ian Connor. I think this one was signed also. Yep, this one signed. And oh yeah, this one has the card in it. Like his, yeah, he's got like his Black Raptor Books business card in there. So, U.S. veteran, novelist, and veteran. It says veteran, U.S. Navy, Army, U.S. Marines. Veteran of all of them? Guess maybe I shouldn't put his phone number on. I guess it doesn't matter. It's a business card. Can you be a veteran of all three? Can you serve in all three of the branches? That's insane. If so, thank you for your service. Jeez. Anybody out there that is in the military, the utmost respect for, and I appreciate every single thing you guys have done and still continue to do and have to deal with. It is, for me, serving in the military, putting your life out there for other people is like one of the most honorable things you can do. And it's sad how nowadays it's people who serve are treated usually. I think we've lost a lot of respect in this country for those in places of authority, as well as like elders. I was talking to somebody today, and they're from Germany, and I was saying, you know, when I was in Europe for a while, like there's just like elderly people are looked at it with much more respect. Even if like it's a young like gang banging punk or something, they show respect to an elder. It's not like now where people just kind of go like, whatever, I'll do whatever I want and I'll treat anybody however I want and I don't care. It's I mean, it's changing, but a lot of when I was there, I noticed that like there was not a disrespect of those who are in authority or those who are in like a higher than you in age. And so it was very it's very sad state of the United States. So anyways, a little rant over. But thank you for your service to anybody who serves, has served, thinks about serving. My sorry, I'm totally rambling today. My nephew just got he just finished his training in the Air Force, and now he's getting stationed in Texas. So pretty cool. All right, Tuskers, Duncan McCreary, and this one's signed. Yeah, when I was younger, I wanted to be a fireman or something like that, where I was helping other people, serving other people, and you know, someone who could make a difference in someone's life or things like that. And so I had talked to my grandmother about that at one point, and she was very she was a mean lady, and she told me, you know, you're never going to graduate high school. You might as well just give up on that. Don't do that. You should just join the military and try to make something of your life. And I think that at the time turned me off from wanting to be, or like from even thinking about going into the military. But now I look back and I kind of go, man, I wish I would have just done it and served and joined, and because it's something that I hold in very high regard. So, all right. Okay, I'm done with that. The Ruined Season, Christopher Triana. And this one is signed by Triana. Pretty much all my Triana books are signed. I have like 2 or 3 that aren't, but and these are from Bad Dream Books. I don't know if that's his publishing or what, but most of his books are from Bad Dream, I believe. The Night Stalkers, Christopher Triana and Ryan Harding. Triana. Signed. Not signed by Harding. And The Devil Cried by Triana. Signed. Okay, let me grab some more. All right, this one's pretty gross, so just warning you if you're a little squeamish. This one's from Triana, and it's a coloring book. Body art. I don't intend to ever sit and color this. I just have everything from Triana, so I figured I'd have that too. All right, so Blood Lanes by Brian Barry. Love these covers. Sorry, that was loud. Abominable Snowman by Brian Barry. Probably read that one at Christmas time. Jungle Rot by Brian Barry. Brian G. Barry, excuse me. The Sleepover Massacre by Brian G. Barry. Brian's Birthday Bloodbath, Brian G. Barry. A Cursed Ground, Brian G. Barry. Laundromat, Brian G. Barry. And I don't think that's not even all that he has. So we have Body Art by Triana. So this is the one that came in like a bundle with that coloring book, this, and like stickers and all kinds of stuff. And this one is not signed. This is one of the few I have that is not signed. And it says it's the director's edition or director's cut. Because You're Mine by Triana. This one came with like a cool pen that looked like a syringe. It's pretty dope. And signed by Triana there. The Prettiest Girl in the Grave. And all these ones so far, I don't think I've read any of these ones so far by Triana. So Prettiest Girl in the Grave. Signed. Oh, this one has like glue or something in the front. I never noticed. Yeah, bummer. Blood Relations, Triana. This one's also signed. Growing Dark, collection of short stories by Triana. And this one is signed also. Anderson Prunty, Irrational. Grindhouse Press. Not signed. Amalgam Book 2. I read Book 1. I should really add this to my list because it's the first one was great. So this is Book 2 in the series. There's a third one also. I'm gonna set that with rust colored. Okay, Urkala, John Triptych. Another one of the triptych ones they have. Shaitan, John Triptych. Like I said, another one. Stretcher by Clyde Morgan. And this one I picked up recently. It is also signed. And it has like a Bigfoot on the cover, like a wolf, a lady with a shotgun with blood all over, another guy with a crazy beard, like a ram. I don't know. It says only one will prevail in this epic struggle between titans for total domination and freedom, or freedom and knowledge. So I'm not sure what this is about, really. It looks like it's a hodgepodge of man versus nature crazy stuff. So Plagued. This is the Ironville Zombie Quarantine Reaction Experiment. Tis Cree. The Ironville Zombie Quarantine Reaction Experiment. And it says written by Better Hero Amy. Oh, Army. It is signed, but it's signed by Evan something, I think, which is, where is it showed in here? It shows Evan Ramspot is the copyright holder. So Better Hero Army, I guess maybe is the pseudonym that he's using for writing that. I don't know. But this is book 3 in that series. I am planning on getting book 2 or 1 and 2 so I can try to read those ones at some point. Don't Turn on the Lights, edited by Diana Boko. And I just, for fun, I just read the first one and this one. It was pretty good. It wasn't crazy, but it was pretty good. So, had to do with roaches. All right, Long Shadows of October, Christopher Triana. I think this one is not signed. This is the other one I have that's not signed, yeah. So, I may have to order some signed ones from Triana again someday when I got some money. Ballad of the Were Vixens, Christopher Triana. And this one is signed. This is part 2, I believe. And I think this is the first one, 13th Coyote. I do want to read this one soon. These are pretty thick ones. So it's like a country western. And this one is also signed. They're pretty, let's see how long these are. Yeah, it's like a 400 pager. Yeah, it's not that bad. The print's not too, it's kind of normal. Okay, so adding that one to the pile. Full Brutal. I should read some pretty much just horror for the rest of the month anyway. It's October. Full Brutal by Triana. And that one is also signed. Typhoon by John Triptych. And same guy who wrote all those Lemuria and all those. Guests by Keelan Patrick Burke. It's kind of cool. It's like some alien invasion one or something. I don't know. By the way, for those that don't know, I'm actually, I have been wanting to write forever, to write a book forever, or just write anything, like not necessarily a book. So I kind of, I thought about it and someone encouraged me, like, just go for it, just try. And so I wrote a short story, and it's a zombie one because I love zombies and zombies are fun. And so I wrote a little zombie short story, and after I wrote it, I feel like I could write more like about this because it was kind of fun and I really enjoyed it. So I started writing it as a full novel. So at some point I'm probably going to have a full novel completed. I don't know what I'll do with it. I don't know anything about publishing or anything like that. So I don't even know if it would be worth publishing. It's just I found out that I like to write and it's kind of fun and it feels good to get these things that I always have in my head like out. So it was kind of exciting. So I thought I'd share that with you guys. So anyways, if you have a desire to try to write at some point, I say go for it because even if nothing else, it's just fun to do. So all right, Dark Assembly by Aaron Bargard. And that's, I don't think this is signed now. The Yuletide Butcher. This is definitely going on my Christmas reading. So this is by Mike Duke. And I don't think that's signed. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to reread any of the ones I read last year. There was a couple that I really enjoyed. I don't know if I'm going to have the same amount of time off that I did last year, because last year I had almost 2 weeks off, and I had to use a week of my sick leave when my wife got sick in August, so I don't have that full time. I don't have that extra time to take off, but we may end up getting it anyway, because it's like, I think Christmas is middle of the week this year, so it's construction, a lot of it shuts down around that time anyway, so but I may have to kind of work as much as possible during that time, so we'll see. So my list may be limited for Christmas. All right, I also have Splatterpunks, edited by Paul Simon, and this has tons of great authors in it. It is a splatterpunk anthology, really. So there's Joe Lansdale, Clive Barker, John Skipp, Richard Christian Matheson, Douglas Winter, George Martin, Edward Bryant, Rex Miller, Ray Garton, Nancy Collins. So there's a lot in this little collection. All right, so into some of the hardcovers. I have Zombies. It's a big old boy. Big boy. And it is edited by John Skipp with commentary from John Skipp. It has tons of authors in it. So Robert Bloch, Ray Bradbury, Stephen King, Neil Gaiman, Dennis Etchison. There's a lot. Kathy Koja in here, Jack Ketchum, McCammon, just tons. Poppy Z. Bright. So I'm really wanting to get to this at some point. It has illustrations as well as commentaries in it, so it's pretty darn cool. And I'll set that one over there with my with the rest of the ones I've been wanting to get to. All right, we have Hunger and Thirst. This is by Richard Matheson. I have not read this one. I've read a lot of Richard Matheson so far, but I have not got to this one. This one I just picked up. Look at that. What a stud bucket. All right. I got this one because it was signed and numbered. So I thought that was cool. All right. So I also have The Living Dead, George A. Romero and Daniel Kraus. And this one is signed by Kraus, Suzanne Romero, Vincenzo Natali, and Francois Valancourt. And this is a publisher copy, which is cool. That's a big boy also. So I'm not sure when I'll get to that one. I definitely can't do the zombie one and that one at the same time. That would just be a little overwhelming. And then I have Richard Lehman Cuts. I have not read this one yet, but it is signed by Lehman. And I have heard that it's a good one, though. So I do have just a ton of Richard Lehman. Talking in the Dark, Selected Stories by Dennis Etchison. This is also a fairly rare one to come by. This one's not signed either, I don't think. No. Uh, 999. Another collection of short stories. This is hardcover again. This one is signed by Tim Powers. So a little signature up there in the top corner. And then also signed by Harlan Ellison. So I actually have 2 signed Harlan Ellison books. Maybe I'll get rid of one of them at some point here. I don't know. I've been purging off a lot of my personal collection. So the horror stuff, not so much. Just most of my sci-fi stuff, because I have so much of it. I will never get to reading all of it. And so I kind of went through and picked all the ones that either I know that I will want to read, not just ones that I think maybe, oh, this might be cool to read, but ones like I really want to read this. And then I also am getting rid of a ton of the ones that are ones that I've read that I probably won't read again, that I'm not going to have reread it at any point. So, all right, next up, The Drive-In, The Bus Tour by Joel R. Lansdale. And this one is signed. And I'm pretty sure it's a bunch of short stories. Maybe not. Maybe not. No. Okay. So this is and this is part 3 of a series. So, anyways, that's part 3 of a series, drive-in series. So I think the other 2 came out a long time ago, and I need to grab hold of those at some point because I don't have them. So, but this one's pretty cool. Signed copy. Sorry, I keep spinning around backwards as I'm talking. I'm the best. I'm the best at videoing this stuff. All right, Horrors of War, Tim Curran. And this one is really cool inside illustrations. This one's signed. Yeah, this one's signed by Tim Curran and Brad Moore. Brad Moore did the artwork. So, turning. All right, Bad Dreams by Kim Newman. And I may get rid of some of these at some point. I don't know. But for now, they're staying. Kim Newman signed. Can't tell I have a thing for signed books. So, Chet Williamson, Figures in the Rain. Or Figures in Rain, excuse me. And this one is also signed. And I think this one's fairly rare. I think I remember right, if I was looking it up, I think there was like hardcover copies that were like around $20-$30 that weren't signed. So I would guess this is probably a good $50-$60. So that's how I'd gauge it. Joe Lansdale and Keith Lansdale, Big Lizard. This one is great illustrations in this one. Signed by Joe and Keith. Both are, this is both signed on there, and this is a numbered copy number 10. All right, Michael McBride, The Infected, hardcover. And this one is Cemetery Dance, I think. Oh, no, Delirium, sorry. This is copy number 21, signed. All right, we got Resurrection, Tim Curran. I've been putting this one on my shelf to read. I had it sitting by my bedside for so long, and I just kept grabbing other stuff. I've been really into short stories, so I just keep grabbing short story collections. But Best of Shadows, edited by Charles Grant, and signed by Charles Grant. This is one of the little chapbooks. I have a ton of these that I've already read, and they're in my have been read for the year pile. But this one is Odd Numbers by Chismar. And this one is How the Wind Lies by Brian James Freeman. Cool little way to get familiar with an author. So I think that's kind of cool. Both are signed. So this is Brian James Freeman there. And then this one is Richard Chismar. So double signed copy chapbook. Comes this little cool slip sleeve. The Vengeance, Robert Sloan. This is a vintage 80s horror book. A Cold Place for Dying, Christopher Triana. This one is signed also, but this one is, I think this was the first Triana I read, and it's really good. It's a lot like a thriller with some horror elements thrown in. I recommended this one to somebody the other day, like saying, hey, this is a good place to start with some horror. It's not like full of like body horror and extremely graphic stuff, but there is some graphic violence in there. There is a good amount of tension and horror elements, but it does lean towards the thriller side of things. Super good. It's on Christmas time. It's at Christmas time, so it's a good Christmas read. So anyways, that's Cold Place for Dying is a good one. Shepherd of the Black Sheep, Triana. This one is also signed. A Fine Evening in Hell, signed. Sorry, I didn't even show the cover. I'm just trying to burn through these. Along the River of Flesh, Triana. This one's a hardcover compared to most of the other ones, which are trade. This one I think is signed. There it is. Yep. So I've only read the first one, Gone to See the Riverman, and it was so hyped on. It was so hyped up on BookTube, like crazy, like insane. I'd see it everywhere, and it was good. It wasn't bad. It was just it wasn't as like I thought it was gonna be like the most amazing book I ever read. You know the way it was hyped up. So, but I like a lot of his other stuff better than Gone to See the Riverman. That just happens to be the one that got all the attention. So I would say Ex Boogeyman by Triana if you want. That one's my favorite. A Cold Place for Dying's really good. Um, Trying to think of the other ones that I've read. They All Died Screaming is pretty graphic, so that one's you careful. And Toxic Love is horrible in my opinion. I hated it. It is it's way over the top, and it felt like it was not even a Christopher Triana. It felt like it was something totally different, and I didn't like it. So, um, I would say Ex Boogeyman, Cold Place for Dying. Even They All Died Screaming is good. It's just got a lot of graphic content in it. So be cuidado. Be careful. All right, Amalgam Book 3. So in that Amalgam series, I have Book 2. Did I set 2 aside? Yeah, I did. So I'll get to 3 after that one. All right, we have Hungry Rain by Brian Fata Steele. Big Head by Edward Lee. And it's supposed to be a pretty twisted book. I've read Creakers by Edward Lee. That one was pretty good. Yeah, there was some gross stuff in it, but it was pretty good. It had a good story to it. So I'm guessing this one's going to have a good story as well. Got a lot of Edward Lee stuff. Read some other short stories by Lee that I like. Ian Woodhead, Upworld. Jean-Claude Van Damme cover. Or Parker Lewis Can't Lose cover. Deep Black, Chris McNally. The Valley of Bicho, R.F. Blackstone. Another Triana, That Night in the Woods. And this one not signed. So maybe this is one of the other ones I don't have signed. Yep, I don't think so. Not signed. So 3 I think I have not signed. Oh, man. All right. Tori Favreau. And this is The Dead of Christmas, Another Earth Story. And I have the sequel to this, which has to do with Egypt. So I just picked that one up recently, the Egypt one. That one I want to read for Christmas, so I'm kind of holding out for. Doomsdays, Jeffrey Thomas. Blood Island, Tim Wagoner. Battleground Earth, Jerry Griffiths. Another Christmas one, You Better Watch Out, Matt Forget. I think this one I'll try to read at Christmas. I had it on my Christmas list last year, but I had like 15 of them or something. And I think I only got through like 10 or so. Bug Trouble, Hartley Stevens. So that was one I didn't get to. The Mike Duke one was the other one I didn't get to. Tim Meyer, Kill Hill Carnage. Cool cover on that one. Brian Gatto, Bog Beast. Sliggers, Michael Yowell. And I have some on the way here that are, I think it's Clickers by Brian Keene, and I forget who the other guy is. But the other guy I know wrote a few, actually I think died in like 2014 or something like that. That he wrote the first one, and then Brian Keene, I think, continued the rest of the series. So Sligger Invasion, or Sligger Island, sorry. This one's Sligger Invasion. Eric Brown, Monster Hunt. I don't know if this is horror. This just ended up in here, I think. Dead Astronauts by Jeff Vandermeer. It's probably sci-fi. But super cool cover. Look at that cover. That is a rad cover. I like that one. So he's the one that did the Southern Reach trilogy, Annihilation and all that. I don't know anything about this. I don't know if this is new. I saw this. Where did I get this? I think I got this at a thrift store. No, not that new. Oh yeah, 2019. So yeah, Fairly new. Okay. So I don't know. Anybody read this one? I still have Annihilation and all those on my list to read that I haven't got to. So Evil Dead. Oh yeah. This is Mark Verheiden and John Bolton, and this is the kind of comic novel I had. Oh yeah. I got these two also that I didn't show you guys yet. Incidents Around the House, Mallerman. Where did I get these from? I can't remember right now. Oh yeah, I got these at a thrift store. Yeah. So yeah, got Incidents Around the House, Josh Mallerman. Heard this one's good. I think this is his latest one. I'm gonna add that to the list. I kind of want to read that. Freddy vs. Ash, A.S. Eggleston. Heck yeah. This is her first novel too. So see how it is. And when did it come out? Let's see. I think this was released like this year, if I remember right. Nope, psych, 2015. I am way off. Okay, so this one was released pre-wokeism, so this one hopefully is good. All right, Brian Keene, Pressure. Anything after 2021. Pretty much everything I've read that comes after 2021 has been terrible. Signed by Brian Keene, Pressure. William Michael, Creeping Kelp. Last Mutation, Michael Bray. Night Creepers, David Irons. Chris Pearson, The Swarm. R.F. Blackstone, Flicker. No Lives Left, Brian Barry, Slaughterhouse Press. Right? It's Brian Barry, isn't it? Doesn't even say on the outside. Does not say Brian Barry anywhere. Pretty sure it's Brian Barry, though. Slaughterhouse Press Anthology. Oh, maybe not. Oh, I didn't know that. Psych, not Brian Barry. Brian Barry is in it. Okay. It's an anthology of short stories from Slaughterhouse Press. Okay, cool. Didn't realize that. I thought it was just written by Brian Barry. Test Site Horror, Gustavo Bondone. Chris McNally, Flux. And R.F. Blackstone, Kaiju World. But wait, there's more. All right, Pen Pal by Dathan Auerbach. Saw this one floating around BookTube for a while. Supposed to be pretty good. Right to Life, Jack Ketchum. The Slob, Aaron Bogard. Definitely one that's been talked about for sure. I found a circus tent in the woods behind my house, Ben Farthing. There's so many of these to read. I got so many to read. Cows, Matthew Stoke. Hardcore Kelly by Rath James Wright. This one I've been wanting to read for a while too. I'm going to set that over there. Okay. Book of a Thousand Sins by Rath James White. I don't think any of these are signed. Pretty sure. No. Big Head's Junk by Edward Lee. So I think this is just a short little novella having to do with that, with like Big Head and Creaker universe, sort of. So I need to read Big Head first before I get to that one. Halloween Fiend by C.V. Hunt. And this one I should probably read this month too. Right? And this is a Grindhouse Press. Yeah, I should read this one this month. I'm going to set that one there too. Saculina, Philip Frassasi. Cool cover. I like that cover. Someone did a good job with that one. This one is not signed. I'm going to read that one too. That's my problem. Unearthed by Richard Chismar, Ray Garton, and Brian Keene. Basically, this is Richard Chismar wrote some stories, and they never got published. And so he found them and basically asked Ray Garton to kind of edit and refine one of them to write it in his own way, and also asked Brian Keene to do the same with another one. And it's a introduction from Chismar telling about that stuff, and then the two short stories that are written after that. And so I read Did I finish? I just read the introduction so far. Yeah. Yeah. So I just read the intro so far, and then I'm going to read the other two. That one was one that was in my room. Short Things, John Gregory Betancourt. This is all short stories having to do with, kind of around the thing, or John Campbell's Who Goes There. That one's in my reading stack in my room. Carmilla Sheridan LaFanu. I think this is early 1800s or something like that when it was originally written. It's kind of gotten a little resurgence here lately. Is this the one I'm thinking of? I think this is the one I'm remembering. Heralded in his time as a Gothic genius and a first-rank writer of ghost stories. I'm trying to see if it's... he was born in 1814. Okay, so he's born early 1800s. He published a bunch in 1860. First ghost story was written in 1838. Newspaper company that. Carmilla is 1872. Okay. Oh, and he died in 1873. Wow. Okay, so this is 1872, and it's been kind of redone and republished. So I was going to read that one. I started this one also, The Pillow Man by Martin McDonough. And this one I heard from Criminali as a good read. So I just started that one a little while ago. Warm Dark Places Are Best, Mike Duke. Another one that I have on my nighttime reading. Good old nighttime reading. Ice Beast by Brian Barry. So great. Abominable Snowman type stuff. Slasher Witch at the Water Park, Penny Moons. Michael Yowell, The Mine. This is one I read before, and I bought it again because I don't know, I was gonna maybe reread it. It was so it wasn't written. It was written good and enjoyable. Like that part was written good, but there were so many edit problems. There were tons of errors, punctuation errors, misspellings, things like that. And then there was just some odd dialogue between characters that didn't fit, and it was like, that person would definitely not talk like that. There's no way. Things like that. So it really was a little bit of a struggle to read, but I liked the story, so I kind of was thinking I'm just going to read it again with like attempting to no-brainer it and not worry about the edit stuff. It's hard to do. It's hard to read something and not catch, when punctuation's really off, or like words are completely misspelled, or you're having to try to figure out like what word did they mean to say there because it says something totally different. Like I know they weren't saying farm right there. It doesn't fit the sentence. Oh, it was supposed to be form or far or for or something like that. So it throws you out of the book a little bit when it's not 100% edited well. So Brian Barry, Ogre, but it was worth the read, and I had sold it a long time ago, and I was like, I need it back. I gotta get it back. I gotta have it in my collection. So Garbology, the collection of short stories from different YouTubers and things like that. Skinner's Craig Wesley Wall. Deadly Passage, Sanford Allen. And it's a double, so on the back it's Dog Days by Joe McKinney. Michael Cole, Hive. This is book 1 of the Gore Sector series. I don't know how many there are, but that's a Severed Press also. William Michael, Operation Yucatan. Severed Press also. Rick Chesler, Extremophile. Icarus Publishing. And I don't think any of these are signed. Pretty sure they're not. Savage Mountain, John Quick. I believe this is is this a reprinted one from before, or is this new? 2020. Okay, so this is new. And this one is signed. And it is a Grindhouse Press. That one? I need to read that one too. Hunting Bigfoot, Eric Brown. Monster Island, John Lee Schneider. A Year in the Cellar, Scott Wells. This one might be signed too. Nope. Okay. Sea Change by Brian Essman. Mutated Media Publishing. And that one is signed. And Pond Water by Brenda Fire Eagle Biddix, Rion Milletti. Co-written? Co-authored? Yeah, and I'm guessing maybe signed by both? I don't know. Looks like maybe it could be signed by both. It's yeah, authors. The authors. So, yeah. I'm guessing that's signed by both. Ryan Milletti, Rion, Ryan, Brenda Biddix. Okay, cool. Oh, what is there? There's like a sticker or something in there. Yeah, there's some sticker with the lotus flower on it. All right, cool. Throw that in the front. There we go. All right, and then there are other ones that I have that have been read this year that I haven't got out. Just because I don't want to dig through my whole pile to get them out. But I have this one, Gauntlet 2. It's in a nice little slip sleeve. And the cool thing about this one is signed by a lot of authors. A ton of authors. So there's a ton in there. The biggest one being Stephen King. So this is my only Stephen King signed book. And I've been wanting to find one for a long time. But it has so many different signed. There's another page of signed stuff. So Matthew Costello, Rick Atala, Carl Wagner, Craig Spector, Nancy Collins, John Skipp, Michael Collins, Gary Branner, William Nolan, Piers Anthony. Like I said, Stephen King, there's Ronald Kelly, Andrew Vaughn, let's see, William Ryling, Rex Miller, Thomas Monteleone, Graham Masterton, Bentley Little, George Beam, Richard Chismar, Kevin Anderson. So it is signed by a ton of people. And I would think this sucker is like super valuable, but I think I got it for I only got it for $300, something like that. So, I'm pretty sure that's a darn good deal for that. So, I would think, but anyways, so Borderlands 3 I also have, and then a slip sleeve also. And this one is signed by a bunch of different people as well. Ed Gorman, Poppy Z. Bright, David Bischoff, Thomas Monteleone. And, okay, sometime today. And then on the second page, there's all those. So Andrew Vox, Thomas Tessier, Elizabeth Massey, Stephen Tam, Bentley Little, Kathy Koja, Ronald Kelly, Christine Rush, Whitley Strieber, and several other ones that I'm not familiar with. And so this is a huge collection as well. Doesn't have King in it though, which is what makes the other one I think pretty valuable. I mean, his signed stuff goes for crazy amounts. So, and then I have this one, Nightmare Realm, Tales of the Fantastic, edited by Joshi. Signed by a lot of people also. So, I'm not going to read all those. There's a lot. And then, I think, is that the only page? Yeah, that's the only page of signed stuff. So, big, giant page of signed authors there. And this one, the book itself is expensive. I gotta take that bookmark out before it ruins it. Bookmark's thick. Put it in the front. So it has a bookmark that came with it. It's a nice hardcover with a beautiful slip sleeve, and it is a valuable book just by itself, let alone being signed. So, all right, I think I covered it all. I think that's everything that I have that's horror. I'm sure I'm missing some somewhere, but nothing like shouldn't be anything too crazy. So I will try to do maybe a science fiction version of this where I show you the science fiction stuff. They're not on the cool shelves like this. They're on a like plastic Home Depot shelf. So I was gonna build a nice little wooden paperback shelf on my wall over there, but I haven't got to it yet. So maybe once I do that, I'll do the sci-fi tour. So that's gonna take a little bit. Let's see here. I think that's it. I think we're good. Call it a day. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll try to have some more stuff out to you here real soon.